All right, next up here, we're going to be creating a chess pawn. So follow the video listed below and answer questions as you go along. And you'll submit an STL file at the end, and that stands for stereolithography. That's the original type of 3D printing file. That's what we use to communicate with our 3D printer. So you can see what our chess pawn is going to look like. Ultimately, it's just going to look like this right here. And we're going to do this um, to help us learn a little bit more about the program and some new tricks and tips will come along with this. So back on your dashboard here, this is where you'll start at. You're going to go up to Learn. The Learn side of things here, and you'll see we have starters, lessons, and projects. If you want to go through these starters, you can go through them. Your pictures may not come up quite now. We're working at the tech department to get that done though. So I'm going to go from starters to lessons. And the one lesson we're going to focus on for right now is the chess pawn. So clicking on the chess pawn. And I'm going to restart this project. And yes, I do want to restart it. And then you can click on start right here. So I'm back at my work plane. Over here on the left side, I have my instructions here. So it says, let's get started. There's an arrow. So I click the next one. All right, in the first set of directions, it says drag a cylinder to the work plane. So I'm going to drag a cylinder across here and align things up just like so. Cool. And again, I use my focus key or my F key. And then I need to scale it to a height of 3 millimeters. So I'm going to scale this down right here. And 3 millimeters just like so. Cool. And I can type it in again. That's what I did. Then I need to drag a work plane to the top of the cylinder. So you can see this box right here. Work plane, but the work plane is right here, is this blue thing. But it says shortcut W. So if I press W, what I get is a brand new work plane. And I want to bring it to the top of the cylinder, so I'm going to bring it just right there. And all of a sudden, my work plane, where I'm working at, gets raised up, even though this is the original work plane down here. So now I'm going to be building on top of this. Next here, drag a cone to the top of the cylinder. So I'm going to drag a cone up, purple cone, and notice it's on the new work plane now. And F again to focus. I'm moving around here. Oh, I'm going to use my arrow keys to move things over and get it better aligned. And it says new shape will land on the work plane you just created, and it did. Now I need to scale it to a height of 11 millimeters. So I'm going to bring it down and right to 11. Cool. Next, drag a sphere to the work plane. Drag a sphere out here. Sweet. There we go. Just like so. Next here, scale the sphere to a diameter of 18 millimeters. Alright, so I'm going to click on the corner here, and it needs to go to 18. So 18 right there, 18 right there, and then on top there, 18 right there. So it makes it a little smaller. Then I'm going to be squishing it down to 5 millimeters. So height of 5, 7, 6, 5. Cool. Just like that. And I'm going to use my arrow keys to move things around there. Cool. That's done. And now I need to drag another cone to the work plane. Alright, so another cone over here. Sweet. And then scale it to a height of 28 millimeters. So I'm going to scale this to a height, and bring it up, and 28. And then I am going to scale it to a diameter of 14 millimeters. Just move this around like so. And this like that. Cool. Moves it back like that. And then move the cone to the target area on the orange. So I need to move this over right there, like so. And it looks like I need to lift the cone 3 millimeters up. So this here will lift it up, get a little triangle, and lift it up. And it looks like it's pretty well aligned there. Sweet. And then drag another cone to the target area in the orange. So I gotta drag another cone out there, just like so. And scale that to a diameter of 12 millimeters. How I'm going to do this here, I'm going to hold the shift key and I'm going to scale it down just like so. 12, perfect. And then I'm going to raise it up. Cool, that looks good. Rotate the cone 180 degrees. Now this gets a little tricky. And if I go outside of the box, I'm going increments of 1 degree. But if I go inside of that circle, it locks it every 22.5. It makes it a lot easier. So staying inside the circle here. So again, so you can see that a little bit better there. I stay inside the circle, it locks it. If I go outside the circle, it locks it to every degree. And I'm going to just stay inside the circle, 180, just like that. Then I need to move it up and move it over to my target area. And F key, focus, and whoop, there we go. Just like that. And then down. And then a little bit over again. I can use my arrow keys on my keyboard. Helps out a ton. So drag a work plane to the top of the cone now. Alright, so W again. And I'm going to the top of the cone here. Sweet. Now, next here, drag a sphere. We're almost done here. Drag a sphere out there. Try and align it up the best I can. It looks pretty good right there. Doesn't have to be perfect right now. We're going to align things better. Scale it to 8 by 8 by 8. It says hold the shift key again. So if I hold the shift key, it's going to go 8. It's going to scale it down uniformly, just like that. And then I can move it over again, try and get it aligned in the orange area. Move it over. Well, I'll leave it right there for now. That'll be okay. Then drag a work plane to the original location of the work plane. So W again. And this time, if I click anywhere else, just on the side here, brings it right back and resets it. And then select all the shapes. So I'm going to go over all the shapes like so. And I'm going to use the Align tool. So the Align tool up there in the upper right, or L, center things, and center that one too. And then everything is aligned just to the center, just how I want it. Then I'm going to select all the shapes again, and I'm going to group it all together. So this connects everything together. And then you can do Command G to group it. And you will usually turn one color. Now I could change this here, so it's one color orange. I could go up here, and I'm not a huge fan of orange, but I like purple, so I'm going to change it to purple, like so. I could also have a multicolor fashion. I click the multicolor, and you can see all the different colors come up that we worked with initially. Then once you click 21, you can celebrate. You did it. So this here, once you have a pawn created, and we're just seeing how well you follow the directions and going through the process here, learning some new tools. I want you to go up to Export. We're going to download this for 3D printing, and then we're going to submit it on Canvas. Everything in the design, and this is a .stl file. So .stl. Then you can open your file, your ChessPawn up, and it will look something just like this here. It'll look gray. You can move around it, and you can take another quick look at it. And all our files like that will look like that on our computer when we talk about how to download the files and when we talk about actual printing of files coming up. So this ChessPawn, you're going to go ahead and you're going to submit it up right here on canvas. So STL file coming up there. And that's that. Thanks, everyone.